Hey,
How
how
you
are
doing?
you? I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing pretty good. You know what? I'm actually doing great. I'm
Good,
doing good.
good.
Let me
I'm
just say this. Everybody, please like and share. That's what I'm doing now. Go
uh,
ahead and like and share.
right. Let me get on it because I'll be on slow with it. Let me get on it. Let me get on
Real
it.
quick. We got so much to talk about. There's a lot of things that we did not talk about last week, but this has been kind of like a busy week.
It
So,
has been, and it's been moving kind of. Oh, I have to realize that even before we do that breakout, that we're still on, and I have to pay attention to the stuff that I'm doing.
I'll break out.
When the 30, not the breakout, but when as we're going into our 30 minute, 30 seconds,
Oh, okay.
it
Yeah,
is still being recorded.
yeah, exactly. 30
And
seconds.
yes,
Exactly. How's everybody doing?
yes. Hello, everyone.
Where
Thanks
you
for
tuning from?
tuning in.
Give me a sip. I'm drinking my sweet tea today
Okay, okay. Um,
with no additives.
we we need to make sure. Hey, thanks for joining. We need to make sure that for people who are joining us for the first time. Hey, Tanisha. Hey, Ma. For the people that are joining us for the first time, even though our names are up there, but I just like saying my name. Hey, y'all. I'm Shanika, and this is Will. Thanks for joining us.
Hopefully, you got what you needed from that. That's good.
You never introduced.
All about empowering people. So that good, good. Say it again. Introduce
I'm
yourself.
Shanika. This is Will. Thanks for joining us. This is your first time
Yeah,
on the chat. We
yeah.
thank you so
Hey,
much.
Patrice.
And please make sure you share.
Yeah,
Share.
yeah. But like you said in the beginning of the season, we're not doing a whole bunch of
No, we're not.
well.
We're
So we're
not.
gonna jump right into this Monday dish, and it's just me and you, and we planned it that way.
Okay.
So I want to start mine off first because Justin and I, when we have conversations,
Okay.
sometimes we kind of get a little heated. But we
Okay.
were last night. You know, my brother, we went to Richmond because
Okay.
he became the provost of Virginia Union.
Yes.
So we decorated his office. His office is late. I don't know why I didn't bring the pictures, but we did a wonderful job. But we were having this conversation because it seems that everybody's going back and forth about Chadwick Boseman passed away. Of course, he was King T'Challa. I think that's how you pronounce it,
Yes.
or Black Panther. And it looked like I was the only person who was pro recast, keep the legacy going. Everybody else thought that he should be written out of the movie, that, out of respect to him, that the character should be killed off or whatever like that. And then because it's women empowerment, the lady Shura, whoever the other lady was in the movie, should take over as Black Panther. I'm all for the empowerment. I know it's the lady's time to be empowered. Plenty more movies she can be in and be the lead. But this is Black Panther. I'd say cast him. But there was a lot of people. I was reading this blog which had a lot of interesting information. Okay, so I didn't realize that, like in the Fast and Furious, when Paul Walker passed away, he was in that car accident. He didn't finish the film. So what they did was they completed the film with his brothers
Yeah.
as body doubles.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher, when she was doing I guess that Rise of Skywalker, she suddenly died in 2016. And what they did was they feature her throughout the movie using footage from previous films. So, is it a respect thing? Do you think? What do you think about this? Do you think that King T'Challa should be recast with another performer? If another carrier like Shuri should take up the mantle, and be Black Panther now, or if they should just not make any more Black Panther movies? What do y'all think? And please don't be quiet on us today. What do y'all think?
Honestly, I think for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think that. Oh, but the brother was he killed the brother, or the cousin, his cousin. So honestly, oh, I'm sorry. Um, wow. I think that they should continue to make Black Panthers and then just try to. I mean, because when you start off with the movie, and you're like, who else could really play that part? Who else could really play his part? I'm not sure that I'm sure they could find somebody, but I don't really know. Like he played that part so well. Um, so I'm not so sure that he should.
Michelle said recast with flashbacks. Okay, okay, okay. I can see that. Who else they can?
So recast the flashback to who he is. I mean, is that to say that that he died or he got older? And like, how long are we gonna have to? How many years are we gonna have to wait for the next movie? The next.
Think about how many other successful franchises. There've been so many Supermans, so many Batmans, so many 007s, and people still. I think because Chadwick was for a while, he was our superhero in real life because he was like that first black. Yeah, we got that, and I'm definitely, sad that he's gone. But I don't think that he would want the character to
stop. No, I don't. No, I don't think that he would want the movie to just stop for the mere fact that he just his legacy, his life period. He continued to work. He continued to do things.
Exactly.
Right. I don't think that he would want the film to stop altogether. No, I don't believe that. I think that they will have they need to move on, and they do need to, as Michelle is saying, they do need to figure it out and figure it out fast, because I think that people are going to want another Black Panther really soon.
And there'll probably be those ones who are really, critical of whoever they choose. It won't be the right person. They should have did this out of respect for this and that, i.e. Justin. But I think they just need to be really strategic and really cautious of who they get to pick up the mantle and carry forward. But I think there are a whole bunch of people, because even though he had done other movies before this, to me, I think Black Panther was his breakout role. I think that's when I really got to know who he was, because he had done movies before that, right? All his other movies didn't come. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But, oh, okay.
I just saw that. I was like, what?
Absolutely. Okay. We'll do that.
Like,
yeah, but I want another movie too. That movie, I was so proud. I don't know why I walked out. I've seen it like probably about 6 or 7 times. But yeah, Wakanda.
Right. And I think because, you're right, I'm with you too, because when they, when the different movies, not all 007s did. The original 007 guy, I don't know his name, I do apologize. He did not play in all of the 007. Yes, James Bond. Like, he did not play in all of the. Didn't they remake?
Yeah, and they get different ones. I thought that one of them was supposed to have been. I thought was rumored to have been black, or the next one was supposed to have been rumored.
Right, and even they did like some movies. I don't think they should, like Steel Magnolia. Then they had a black version of Steel Magnolia, so it wasn't like the.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So different movies they have remade with different, not the original characters. One, because people have passed on. Even when they remade Shirley Temple, was it Shirley Temple? And it was Jamie Foxx and was it Shirley Temple?
With Jamie Foxx?
The curly, not Shirley.
You don't have a little sippy sip. Is that what it is?
The little girl with the red hair. Is it Shirley Temple?
Oh, Annie.
Annie. Okay, I was Annie. Okay. And so so when they remade Annie, it wasn't like it was, it was Jamie Foxx. Right. So anyway. So yeah.
Brown and Jack. Now, Walter, was this prior to Black Panther? I don't know. But to me, that was his role, and he did well in it. I think it should go on. I think that's what he would want, because you brought up the point, like you did. He worked through his pain.
Right.
His work ethic was, remarkable. So I don't think he would want the show to be, the character to be killed off. And on the blog that I read, it gave 2 different possibilities, which I was like, okay, I can see that. Where is it at? Okay.
And on top of the fact that he went through a lot to stay alive for them to be trying to kill off his character for real. Like, no. In the movie,
right, exactly. No. So one of the posts said, how about the possibility that Chadwick gave his blessing to Kevin Feige about someone taking up the role once he realized he became terminal? Another post said, It's so crude, but Marvel plans their movies 10 years in advance. So T'Challa was not only part of this film, but all the others. So to lose T'Challa, you would have to rewrite 10 years of planning. Because I remember he showed up, I think, in the Avengers, Black Panther.
Yes, and then like people just like vanished in the Avengers. I think it was the Avengers. So I mean, I'm not an Avengers fan. I'm sorry, but I don't really know what that was about. No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. I can't see your shirt for some reason, Shanika.
I know, because I tried to sit up high, but I can't sit up high. I was trying to work this out. You see, I'm doing a whole bunch of moving over here.
Very fidgety. Very fidgety.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to sit up so you can see me. Hey guys, hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. A little bit. Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so that's a good segue into this topic that I want to talk about. Oh no, what was yours that you want to talk about so we can get to this?
Actually, we're talking about legacies. Since we're talking about legacies, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Do you trust? And we're talking about trusting legacies. Do you trust your significant other to carry on your legacy once you pass away?
Elaborate. What do you mean?
Like, if you have started a foundation, or if you had written books, or if you had, even this your life of, all the things that you have accomplished in your life, do you trust that your significant other will carry on your legacy?
Do I trust it? Do I trust it? Trust is the word. Like our nonprofit that we both have together, Renewed Hope Incorporated. I would expect him to do that. But like chat, I wouldn't expect him to carry on any of my media work because that's not his passion. That's not what he does. But things that we both have a shared interest in, for his sake, and then of course, including thoughts of me and what I would like to be incorporated, I would hope that he would do that. But certain things, that wasn't him. So I probably would not want him to.
Right. I mean, there's some things I think that certain people you would trust in certain areas to carry on that legacy in that area.
A little to your left. Move your camera a little to the left.
I'm having some difficulties. I do apologize.
It's all good. Hey.
The thing that is on my shirt, and
Oh, that's a good. She said they may not be their call. Exactly. Set up a plan before you pass away. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I thought about the question. Do I trust it? And I'm just like, well, yeah. What part of my legacy? Like, things that I have, that I've said to Asian, the things that that I feel like I've entrusted in her that she will continue to carry on. Those sorts of things. But I need to get started on some stuff that I want somebody to,
Is the word trust or is it expect? Do you expect them to carry on your legacy, like your things? I don't know. I think I'm struggling with the word trust. Or do you?
Because I think some people get like, I think that some people kind of like, okay, it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, they're gone. I mean, okay, well, that's whatever. And we're going to just
that's not even something that I can see if you guys did that together. But why would you expect Walter to carry on Bella Rose?
Well, no, not necessarily the hair salon, that's
what Bella Rose is.
No, okay, not like what I have now, but like when we retired and then we went in together and we built that together, and we, it's like, for a while I would think that he would like, okay, like this, I'm going to keep this going because I've invested in this, and this is how. But then even if he chose not to, then then it's like, okay, but maybe make a scholarship or something, like put a scholarship in my name because this was my passion. put a scholarship, have a scholarship in my name, and hair for the hairstylist or for women or whatever. So I just Michelle said that may be an unfair expectation.
Yeah, yeah. Unless it's a discussion. Why don't you discuss? Why isn't that a discussion that you have? I mean, hopefully you have wills and things in place for your wishes and desires post life. Why don't you discuss? This is something I would really like to go on beyond when I'm here on Earth. Is there
because even like when Chef Fields,
yeah,
and like his fiance, and like they just like not a couple of month or so ago, they had something out in the park for him and his name or whatever, and she's making sure that his legacy is being he's not being forgotten. I don't necessarily know that there was a conversation they had or just something that she's choosing to do, whatever. But I don't know, but yeah.
You're gonna leave it there, right?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to this topic. So there is a group of Black families, it's 19 families in, what is the city called? It is Toomsboro, Georgia. There's an initiative called the Freedom Georgia Initiative, and it's a Black-owned, women-owned, family-owned, veteran-managed limited liability company in Toomsboro, Georgia, and they're trying to build a whole Black city. So what they did was a group of 19 Black families that joined together. They bought 96.71 acres of land. And the co-founder, who was Ashley Scott, she said she actually got this idea after the death of Ahmaud Arbery, who we, of course, know was a Black guy that got killed by the white people when he was jogging. She said their mission is to build a premier recreational, educational, and cultural destination for Black families across the Black African diaspora. She said, we welcome you, your family, and all Black allies to support us in our vision to be the change we want to see. So basically, in my mind, it's going to be a Wakanda, basically, is what they're trying to build, because she said that she realized that there is a widespread systemic racism that we were talking about. So they're trying to build this area basically by us, for us, is what she's saying. But then I got to thinking about it in the conversation with people in the salon, and they were like, well, isn't that taking us backwards? Aren't we trying to go back into segregation, which most, people were trying to fight for integration? Isn't that taking us back, to a time where we fought so hard to get from, where we wanted equality? Is it because that we don't have that now that we're trying to go backwards? What do y'all think? Do you think that is the situation? Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean, I think that we're living in a different time. I think that we can still have equality and still have our own areas in which we congregate. Because even now, even when we're congregating amongst the integrated, if you will, some people are still gathering up their children, moving to different sections of a park because they see a Black family coming. So I think that I don't think it would really be taking us back, because we have reached, in a sense, the goal, which was to a degree of equality. We're not fighting to be free anymore. We're not fighting for those certain things. I think it's a different fight in a way. I guess it's a different fight. So no, because I think that we are a little bit behind the curve on sticking together and making things work together amongst our people. To me, so I think that it would be helpful. I think it would be helpful. I don't think that, because I think white people do that every day. I think white people put their money all in a pot and they build their own, they build things for themselves, for their families, for their legacies. They have their legacies and they have their, whatever it is that they're going to have, and they build it for their families and their friends and their close, their loved ones and all that. So, I don't feel like we're going back. Honestly,
Segregation is an illusion. Okay, I get that. But so, and we've talked about this before. So, what if you were to see, and this is kind of funny because it happens every day, but 19 publicized and 19 white families got together to build an all-white area that was for white people, for what educational and cultural destination for white families across XYZ. How would that make you feel, honestly? How would that make you feel? You would be offended. Wouldn't you be offended? You would be offended. Don't think about it. You would be offended.
Yeah, you want me to answer it. You want me to answer it.
Because I know you would be offended. Go ahead.
First and foremost, Will, but it's happening every day. It may not be right. It may not be, oh, 19 white families got together and build over here. No, it may not be that. It may not be that blatant, but it's blatant. It's blatant. It just may not be publicized. But my thing is, and whoever made the decision to publicize that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did they go out and say, oh, let's have the news come? Or was it, who really said, let's publicize 19 black families got together and, built this thing? And why is it such a big deal? Like, why? Like, if my family bought up half of a block, why? I mean, is it only being publicized because it's black people and you don't think that black people should have that sort of money or can't come together, or because we have, it's negativity that goes along with black people being able, like it doesn't matter. And I don't think that just because it's a black family, or if or even if it's a white group of 19 people, or a black group of 19 people, what difference does it make?
She said, it happens when minorities are priced out or excluded in events and community. Yeah. The gentrification words coming in. Right. Well, I get that. But should our work be to continue to fight for equality, or, like I think it was Michelle's, build our own?
I think build our own, because did you see the article about the black lady down in Georgia who's married to the white guy, and they had their house appraised, and because they had black artifacts and stuff in their house, it was priced at a lower appraised at a lower price, and then when she took out everything that would be like black, then their house appraised higher.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So again, is our fight to say, okay, now we're just going to go do all black mortgage companies? Is that what we're going to do? Or are we going to protest and stand against these companies who have these type of discrimination where they're, appraising black, whatever the situation was? Is that going to be our fight, or we're going to say, okay, well, we're going to go do our own thing?
I think that we're fighting a lot of fights. To be honest, I think that there's people that are fighting a lot of fights. I mean, when I'm looking on Facebook, I mean, it never fails. Like going down my feed, like, so, black owned. I'm in search of a black owned car dealership, or I'm in search of a black owned embroidery place, or I'm in search of it's always in search of. So I just feel like we do need to support black people. And I think that in supporting black people, if we support black people and black owned businesses, I think that other people will start to see, other businesses will start to see that our money is no longer being, filtered.
Our dollar of value.
Yeah, and then you're either going to get it, or your business is going to go under. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think, I'm with Michelle. I don't think that we should have to choose. I think that we should keep fighting the good fight, and we need to support black owned businesses. And then more and more and more and more, I'm seeing that. Like I'm seeing the support of, I'm like, dang, like, I mean, this is the time where, like, I mean, if you are a black person and you haven't put your business out there and you got a business, you're crazy, because this is the most opportune time for you to put your business out there, any venture that you were trying to do, because people are supporting black owned businesses right now. So, this is the opportune time for you to get on it and to publicize your business and take advantage of COVID-19. If nothing else comes out of it, you better be posting this, advertising your business.
Okay. All right. So I want you to sit back so we can see your shirt, and then go ahead and go.
I don't know
So I
about
stop it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's
I have one. You can follow this if you want me to.
say it again. I can't sit back.
You want to stand?
I'm so short. I can't.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I think we need, Amy says, I think we need our own banks and hospitals. And I think that I saw something about a couple or some people, some white people starting a bank or has a bank, or a black lady who has a bank.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So, but I think it's coming to that. I think it's a lot of changes that are to be had. And I think a lot of people are making a lot of different changes into just black owned, and what we need to do for our generation, or our people, really. Okay, so yes, go ahead. What?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. You said you want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This right here. Please don't be offended. But so with that, what we were talking about, the Wakanda and us building our own places. Let's write her. Where is it at? There we go. Can you see the shirt?
Yes, I can.
The shirt is allowed. This shirt is allowed to say nigger because it's black. But he can't. We can. We can. You can. To each other, we're not offended. The shirt can have it because the shirt's black, he's saying, but he dare not say it. So is there power in the word or power in the word, the person who's saying it? What are you most offended about?
I don't understand the purpose. Like, what was the purpose of this? I don't get it. I don't get the purpose. What was the purpose?
What don't you get from the purpose? It's very clear to me. What don't you get from it?
What's the purpose of him putting on this? Like, what is the purpose? I don't get it. Like, yes, I can totally read it. I totally understand what it says. I totally get. I think it's power in the word, because I don't consider myself a nigga, so therefore do I use the word? Mm-hmm. Have I used the word?
Hold on, let me get a sip.
Have I called?
Do you use the word?
I have used the word.
Okay, so okay. And just, out of anger, casual conversation?
No, not out of anger. No.
So just casual conversation?
Yes.
Was it a greeting? Was it a term of endearment?
No.
Okay. Okay. No. So, again, is the word wrong, or just when certain people use it?
I don't think it's an attractive word, and it's not like a word that I'm out in the street being like, what's up? Like, I'm not greeting nobody saying that. And do I like the word? No. And even in the times that I have used it, that it was like a mumble, like, okay, this, like that. But it's, not like I'm calling someone that, or I'm having conversation, calling somebody like, hey, what's up, man? Mm-hmm. No. I think it's only any word has power in it. If that's what you want, if that's how you perceive it to be, any word can have power if you allow it to have power.
So does it have power to you?
I don't want to be called that, but if somebody called me that, am I going to be offended? I'll be like, no, because I know that that's not who I am, and that's not what I represent. Whatever the word is to people, like whatever that word may mean to you. But I know.
But you were offended that he had it on, right?
No, I wasn't offended. I said I did not understand it. That's what I said. I don't understand the purpose of the shirt. I don't understand it. Like, I don't like the shirt can say nigga, but the shirt can only say nigga because it's black.
Black. Like, we can say nigga to each other because we're black. That's what he's trying to say. But he can't say it. Shanika, you get that. You absolutely get that, Shanika.
No, see, some things God don't allow you to understand because then you will be trying to make sense of it, and I can't make no sense of it, so I'm just not trying to understand it. I just don't understand. What was the purpose of the shirt? What was the purpose? What?
Okay.
So you wanted to?
It has no power to me. Okay. That's what your mom said.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't like. Do he not want to say the word? Do he want to say? Or what's the point? Being is, I guess I'm looking for the point. Like the point is, he can't say it, but I can. The shirt can represent the N word because it's black. Because that means to me that you're saying that blacks are considered.
Because we have such an issue with the word, but yet we toss it around amongst each other freely. So what is the word the issue, or is it who's saying it that is the issue?
I think it
summarize the shirt. That's what the issue is. That's what he's saying.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both for depending on who you may be talking to. It may be the word, or it may be who's saying it. Some people just don't want to say the word at all, and then some people are just like, no, I'm offended when certain people say the word, and then it's how the word is being said, and does it have an A on the end? Does it have an ER on the end? Like how are we saying the word? Like
we got different ways we can spend it. You're right. Okay.
Right. So it's just, I think it just holds different meanings, different ways to different people. And no, because I just feel like I'm not going to allow anybody to see that I'm offended by that word, because I'm not that. I'm not whatever it is that you seem to think that word means.
Okay. It's the same. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying we had comments.
Okay.
Okay, so Michelle says he is calling black people out. I need somebody to explain. I just don't get it. Okay, and then Michelle says the point is that it's either wrong or right. And then Amy says it's a difference between nigger and hey, my nigga.
That's true.
Double standard.
That's the word, Michelle. High five, virtual. You're right. Exactly. That's
so
it.
are you saying
that is the same thing that when we were talking about WAP last week? Well, everybody was upset with what's going on. I guess last week when Nikki and Megan were taking back the power out of the word. Everybody was upset. Blah 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 blah. And by the way, Cardi B and the other girl, we forgot to talk about that. Who were going at it this week? We'll talk about that next week. I forgot her name. That was just a side in my head. I got to get it out when it's in there. But Cardi B went at it with some other lady. But when we were talking about the song "WAP" last week,
right.
And I was telling you that for so long it was sexuality and the parts that they were talking about in the song. What men were just basically objectifying them for that, but they took it back, the power.
Right. Right. Yeah. But I mean, even in the double standard of like I've heard white people call people like I was in the Target one day and I was standing there and all I could hear was, "What's up, my nigga? What's up, my nigga?" And I turned around and it was a white guy talking to another white guy. And he was loud. Like when I say loud, like people, like we were in the entrance of the Target, and it's the Target up here by me.
Mm-hmm. That Target, Stinky Ray's Target. Okay.
Yes, and he was. He was going, and he said, he kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it, and people was just like looking, and I was looking. And I was just like, well, whatever, because if that's how y'all get down, then that's how y'all get down. And I think...
And that way it was a term of endearment to me. That was a greeting for them.
Right.
So the people who were looking to stare, that word had power to them.
Right, right. So I just, I don't... Something like, no, okay, like for instance, girl. When somebody says, call like girl. Mm-hmm. Like, especially a guy. If a guy refers to me as girl, like I'm grown. Like, don't refer to me as girl.
I call you girl. I said girl. Girl, what are you doing? I said that. You never told me that offended you.
It's not my favorite. Do you say? You always say it. No,
I said boo, child, girl, all that. I said all
not just like
in my regular vocabulary. I've said those. Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm not a fan of being called girl. Not a fan of
Nika. I need to write that down. I will forget it.
I mean, like, do you like okay, like for instance, like I really had to check myself one time because I read this article about like I be caught like when I'm talking to my husband, excuse me, and I might be like, boy, and then I read this article and it was about this black guy. He was saying, you know, like it's offensive to be calling, you know, a grown man boy, like you know, like he like it like it's.
But I don't think that everybody's true.
What? No, but then I thought about it, like, but I mean, I can't verbatim remember how the article was, but it was basically like it was offensive to because, but it was, you know, back in the, you know, slavery times that that you know that's the term that boy, and so I would have to catch myself, and I was like, well, maybe my husband might be offended because I'd be like boy, but I, you know, not out of being hateful, but just be like, boy, go on, stop playing, you know. No, I never did ask him. Okay. Maybe he will respond now.
Yes. Our guest was in the green room. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she heard us talking about.
Well, I know she, you know, logged on twice, so she might have some connection issues. It looked like she was in her car.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so, for the record, don't use the N-word with or to me. Oh, okay.
Really, Michelle? Write that down. Okay. Well, I mean, people. I mean, I don't know. I don't think too much. Now, if I saw that in Target, I would probably laugh. That probably would have been my first. I guess back here, so you can go ahead and introduce.
All right, guys, we have our guest. She is waiting in the green room to come in. So let me go ahead and introduce her. I'm super excited. Will and I are super excited to have her on. So let me go ahead and introduce her. Her name is Jen Taylor. Jen is a mom of 18, the naked podcaster, mindset coach, motivational speaker, and author. Learning the story behind the person is a true passion. Jen has 15 plus years in the foster care sector as both a parent and a trainer, has written a blog for nearly 9 years, had her podcast for 3 years, and is a published author of a self-help memoir, Hello, My Name is Warrior Princess. Jen is also a partner to an amazing man in Reno, Nevada, a runner, minimalist, and healthy lifestyle enthusiast. Please, please, please help me welcome Jen Taylor to the show. Hello.
Hi. There we go. Hi, we can't hear you. Let me see. Hold on.
Oh, she's muted. Hold on. Okay, we should be.
Okay.
Okay, now we have it.
All right. Thank you. That was quite an introduction. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. How are you? It looks beautiful there.
It is beautiful. Yeah, I'm doing really well. How are you guys? You're East Coast time?
Yes.
We're doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little cooler here, but it's panning out. It's panning out.
I love it. I love fall. My favorite time of the year. Yeah.
But we definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with us and to talk about the things that you have going on about your family of 18, about your podcast and your blog. So we're really wanting to jump right in and get to know a little bit about you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your family of 18?
18, wow.
Yes, I answered all the questions about that. What would you like to know about 18?
Well, so yeah, which is funny. So I didn't stop you because you were on a roll, but yes, you told us, but for you to tell our guests now about your family of 18.
So it didn't start out, you know, I didn't graduate from high school and think, 18 sounds like a nice round number. Let's shoot for that. It did not start out that way. I can tell you that. It was more that I was told I would probably not be able to have kids. Okay. And I wanted a family. And I wanted a family in part because I was raised in a really dysfunctional situation. And I had someone, and actually several people, but one main person that made such a pivotal difference in me I knew that it was possible to help be a positive influence in the life of a child. So foster care was really where my passion was, because I grew up very similarly to those kids. So I went through infertility and I got pregnant. And I adopted 5 kids, and I have 5 kids that stayed long term with me.
Okay.
And then, I was divorced, and I kept doing foster care. And then I ended up meeting someone. My daughter and a friend fixed me up. It was crazy, and it was fun. And we've been together for years, and he had 4 children, and his wife died.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, so all this came basically from your passion because you could relate to it. And me and my husband actually became foster parents. Well, not foster, certified to be foster parents. Was it last year, I believe? I think it was last summer. We're still waiting on a placement, but all of that came similarly. I can relate to what you're saying. How it came basically from experiences. I wasn't in the foster care system, but just having people in my family. My sister, she's adopted, so just hearing things that she had been through that raised my passion for wanting to do that, foster as well as adopt. So I commend you on that. But let's talk about your book. So you have a book. The cover of your book says, "Hello, my name is Warrior Princess."
Yeah.
What's the meaning behind that? What's that about?
I'm sorry, ask me that again.
The meaning behind your cover. "Hello, my name is Warrior Princess."
I love this question because nobody asks this question.
Uh-huh.
It's really about how we label ourselves, or we allow people to label us. And sometimes it's amazing. Someone will label you and you take that on as your identity when it really isn't. And part of the cover of the book is, victim, abused, survivor. And those were things that I saw that were my labels. And you have to work yourself out of having those labels, or give yourself new labels, because the past doesn't define who I am. It's something that contributed to who I am, but it doesn't define me. And so really the book was a lot about those labels. And my label was Warrior Princess. That's Wonder Woman.
Hey, that's true.
I mean, Wonder Woman's the whole premise of Wonder Woman was that she triumphed with love. Her biggest power was that she triumphed with love. And also, I'm 5'9", and so I have been called an Amazon, and it really hurt my feelings, when you're in junior high school and high school, and I was devastated by that. It could have been a compliment, I don't know, because it made me so hurt that I never even found out if it was a compliment. Right. But I'm tall and strong personality and love being an advocate. And so when I realized that I could define myself and give myself my own label, that was, who else would I want to be like other than Wonder Woman? So that was a huge part of it. And it was just my story growing up. It was my story of dysfunction with, at the end of each chapter, are the things in hindsight that I was learning. At 6 years old, you don't realize that you're learning resilience or tenacity or strength or advocacy. But in my 40-plus-year-old self writing the book, I realized that those were lessons that I was learning. Those were skill sets that I was learning as I was growing up in this dysfunction, and that I didn't have to let it define me. So that's the cover. I love that question.
Yeah. And so basically, those words that were used against you, you took the power out of them. You took the sting out of them.
I took the sting out of them and I turned them around.
Exactly. We were just talking about that. Exactly.
I love being an Amazon. You can call me an Amazon any day of the week, and I'll high five. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
Somebody just said.
Well, that's good. So we're getting a lesson in today, just from what we've talked about and what you just said. We're getting a lesson in taking the power out of words and then flipping it and making it, what we need them to be to build our confidence and our resilience and our tenacity to move forward and make things work for ourselves. So thank you so much for that. So along with your book, you do have a podcast, and it's called The Naked Podcaster. So can you tell us the meaning behind that and the purpose of your podcast? And do you really do it naked?
I'm really naked. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You don't get to see any bits. It's all bits up. But I was asking, well, first of all, I wrote the book and I was very, very raw and vulnerable in my story. And I realized immediately it's one book, it's one story though. And I love the story of the foster kids, the story of the adoptions that I did, my infertility story. I mean, for me, everything is really about the story. That's the presentation. And I wanted more stories of people who took a really tough situation and turned it around, made it better, flipped the script, see it through a different lens. And so I wanted initially to help people write books, and that was a square peg in a round hole 4 years ago. And my husband's best friend had a successful podcast, and he said, "You should start a podcast," and handed me my first microphone. And that was it. It was like game over. That was over 3.5 years ago. And I formatted my podcast the exact same way. It's your story of struggle. It's really digging deep. If I can share information online, it's not enough. That's a great place to start, but I want you to really share your story at a deep level. And my reasoning is the same that I wrote the book. I want people to feel less alone in their struggle. And then we're going to talk about, like at the end of my chapters of my book, I talked about what was I learning in hindsight. So you're going to talk to me about the who, what, when, where, how you got through your struggle, or you continue to get through your struggle, because some things aren't a one and done.
Right.
And that's going to give people the ability to build their own skills more, bigger. It's going to support them in their struggle. And it's interesting because I interview mostly entrepreneurs, and that was not intentional, but it's a happy accident. And 100% of entrepreneurs build their business because of their struggle. It's a direct result of their struggle. And I love shameless self-promotion because people don't talk about what they do in a way that shows how much they love and they're passionate. Not in a, I'm looking for new clients, but like, this is what I do and I freaking love it. Yeah. They don't do that enough. And I give them the space to do that. And then I make the connection to their struggle and how they built that business. And essentially every one of those entrepreneurs, again, 100%, wants to help their clients to make their issue faster, easier, with more support. That is the goal 100% of the time. And I love that. So because I'm asking you as my guest to bear it all emotionally, and I'm telling you, I want you to dig deep. I bear it all physically to support you. So that's it's the naked truth. We're bearing it all.
Yeah. So that's basically a part of that's a part of your coaching platform as well.
It is.
All right.
The coaching platform is called Compounding Joy, but everything I do is very, very, someone asked me once, how can you be the naked podcaster and mom of 18? Like somehow bearing it all wasn't a good parenting etiquette or something. And actually in a year before my book was written, 3 of my kids came forward and said that they were being abused by a family member. And that was the moment that I realized I was no longer afraid to share my story, because I did not want my children afraid to share theirs. And so a year later, the book was written, and then the podcast, because I want my kids to embrace whatever their story is. And so, yes, Compounding Joy is my coaching, but they are all connected. So ask me, go ahead.
Right. So what is the purpose, or what will I get from taking your coaching program, Compounding Joy?
The interesting thing that I found with public speaking, I was being asked to speak quite a bit on stress reduction and conflict resolution, which is something I got trained in when I was training foster parents. And I realized that people are really stressed and feel like they have a lot of conflict in their lives. And it comes from a real negative space. And I don't come from a real negative space. So I needed to flip the script on that and look at what I did as me personally, what I did in that foster care situation, in my trainings with my own kids, and kind of figure out how I maintain such a positive attitude through everything, through all the dysfunction of my childhood, through everything. And what I did to teach that, and that's not a magic wand to get rid of your stress. It is changing the lens and how you view the world. So my goal 100% is to teach you. I use the theory of compound interest. I have small, easy daily actions, compound interest, small, easy daily, right? Just doing a little bit every day over time adds up. And I have 13 different things that you can choose from to do. And my goal was to make it so easy in so little time, because a lot of people feel stressed, just like you're asking me to do one more thing. It's
Wow.
one more thing that I need to do. So my guarantee is not only will it take almost realizing that you're gaining time from it. So it's small, easy daily actions that you do. And over time, within 3 weeks, you realize that you have more gratitude and joy in your life. So I can't guarantee you'll have less stress or conflict. What I can guarantee is that as you're doing it, your lens with which you view your stress and conflict will change. So it will look different to you and it will feel different to you. So in the end, I can give you more time and I can give you less stress and less conflict. But it's a very backdoor sort of way to get there.
Right.
And that is my whole goal. And again, I do a lot of it comes from what your story is and what your language is and how you view your story, and changing those negative philosophies into positive ones. So
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Well, thinking of the role that you have played in the lives of 18 plus children and a partner, can you tell us of a person who has made an impact in your life?
Carolyn St. Jean, she was my third grade teacher. I was 7, and my parents had divorced a year or so earlier. I had a horrible year in second grade. In second grade, what my teacher taught me is that it is not okay to cry. It's not comfortable. I would get kicked out of class, and I was the oldest of 2 kids. I thought the divorce was my fault. I was really struggling. And then I went into Miss St. Jean's class, and she treated me like I was smart. I was beautiful. I was worthwhile. She saw me. She just saw me. And she didn't know I was a kid that came from a broken home. She didn't know anything about me. When I found her 20 years ago. I'm turning 50. So if I found her 20 years ago, so I was like, okay, so let's do some math here. I was 20, and I had been 7 in her class.
Yeah.
And in all my speaking and everything I did, I shouted out this woman and how amazing she was. She did something so little. Every Friday, if we had been on green all week, if you've checked the box on green, you got a candy, and she had butterscotch or peppermint, and you got to take a candy. And my sister was in kindergarten, and I would ask her every week, can I take a candy for my sister? And every week she let me. She never questioned whether or not that's what I was doing with that candy. She just said yes and trusted me and let me do it. And I like peppermint and I didn't like butterscotch, but I gave my sister like butterscotch, so I bring that to her. And it was something like, how simple is that this woman just said, of course you can bring one to your sister. Thank you for being on green all week. She saw me. And so even though in my life, after I left third grade, things in my life got significantly worse. Significantly. I mean, I had no idea the nightmare that was coming. But I knew to her I was worth it. And that got me through everything else. So what a blessing it was for me I lived in Alaska at the time, and I had been raised in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. And I found her teaching third grade at the same school. She'd moved around, but she ended up coming back there. And I went and spent a weekend with her, and I got to in person tell her that she was the biggest pivotal difference in my life. And that was the reason why I knew that just in passing, just by being a good person and treating people with respect and dignity, just by seeing people and meeting them where they're at, I could change someone else's life. Yeah. And so it's her fault, basically, that I have 18 kids. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, though.
Okay, I'm here, right? Carolyn's, I know that here's the thing. Many times in our lives, somebody makes a difference, even in passing, in the start. Through, and we never say a thing if it's positive. We're happy to shout out when the barista got our order wrong, but we don't take 2 seconds to say, dude, your voice over the intercom, it kicked butt, it made my day.
Yeah. Right.
Keep it going. And we don't know what what story they have and what life they're living and how much of a difference without even knowing it we can make in someone's life in passing.
Yeah.
And we that 2 seconds to make a difference. We take a lot of time to complain.
Yes. Yes.
But we don't take that 2 seconds. And when somebody makes a massive impact, like my 3rd grade teacher, man, the only one who I wanted to know that she made a difference was her. So I got myself on the plane. I had 5 kids and I was pregnant. And I flew from Alaska to Rhode Island, and I spent the weekend with her, and I got to thank her in person. And it's the best thing that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know there is a whole tribe of people who can say that Jen Taylor made a big impact on their life. From just the moments that we spent together, you've inspired me. And our guests who want to know, how can they follow you, and definitely how can they tune into the Naked Podcaster?
Naked Podcaster is a blast. Show up naked with me. You can... Like, everybody knows now that we're in Zoom, like our lives are online, like you don't need to wear pants. Now that's normal. But back when it's so weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Momof18.com. It's mom of 18, but if you type in the letter 18, you'll land on the same place. I have a phone number there. I have my email there. I have every social media you ever want to know. The podcast, if you search in the Naked Podcaster in Google, the information's on my website. The episodes are hosted on Anchor. But I mean, honestly, all you have to do is land on my website or type in the Naked Podcaster with an ER at the end, and you're going to find me. I'm on 34 platforms.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's been 3.5 years. You should be able to find me anywhere. And if you can't, first of all, I love to connect. So shout out, say hi, tell me your story. But if you can't find something, ask me and I will happily send the link.
Okay. Awesome.
Well,
thank you so much for taking time out. I see that you're en route or you've arrived somewhere, but thank you for taking the time out to talk to us and inspiring us.
Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. We had a family emergency, but I just sat myself in the car because I wanted to be here with you guys. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You are more than welcome to come back anytime. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. That's so sweet. I like her.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. We only have can we go to the Toni Braxton? We can. All right. You drinking?
It's just
all right. Oh.
I need a one of those.
Okay. So Toni Braxton, anyway, she said that she is more comfortable now than in her 20s. She said that she would never want to go back to her 20s because she feels that she's so much better and more comfortable in her skin now. I think Toni Braxton's 50 or in her 50s, I believe.
Okay.
She said that in her 20s, she had no idea what she was dealing with as far as how great she is. She said that she appreciates things so much more now, that she wished she had dated more in her 20s because she was so fixated on her career that she said that she would, I think Matthew McConaughey, all these different people were trying to get her attention, but she was like basically tunnel focused on her career. So she said she missed out on dating, and she said she wished she had enjoyed a few more cocktails and a lot more sex. So my question to you and to everybody out there, what age range or what age did you feel most confident and most comfortable in your own skin?
I think now.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, I think now, and I think I'm with her. Like I was fixated on Walter. I was fixated on Walter in my 20s, and so I didn't see nothing else going on. And I think that I did not take advantage of my 20s like I should have, and to live life a little bit more. And I should have listened to my mama and just waited it out and just waited to get married. And I just think that I was still trying to find myself. I was trying to find what direction I was going in. Just doing a lot of things that you just trying to find yourself. And I think that now I feel like I'm literally now.
Okay.
I feel like, okay, I'm able to, I'm finding myself saying things. Oh, yes, honey. Yes. I'm finding myself, being able to say the things that I want to say and not to tolerate things that I don't have to tolerate, or knowing that when you are in my company or when you are around me or when I befriend you, that it's a privilege to be my friend, because the things that I am about and the things that I have to say to you, I'm learning to add value to people's lives. And if I cannot add value to your life, then I am not good for you. Our relationship will not be able to prosper because I'm not adding any value to you. And you should be wanting to add value. I think at any point, any people, if you are having relationships with people, you should be adding value to their lives and they should be adding value to you. And if not, then it's just like, okay, what is the gist of our relationship here? Where is it going? Is it for this particular thing or is it for this particular thing? So I feel like, you know, the friends that I have and the people that I associate myself with, that's what it's for. In the sound or the tune of we're building one another, and that's to be coachable and teachable. And so I think that I'm at my best place now, and I'm growing into that person that I have been. But I think I just I neglected myself of that person, if you will, of knowing that I really have like talents and things that I can do and that I have done and that I have really outdone myself, if you will.
So in your 40s, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. To me, who's our comment from? Michelle. She said, I'm the most secure in my 50s. I really know how valuable and beautiful I am. However, that part started in my 40s. That's exactly what I was going to say. To date, I think I was my most confident in my 20s. This is me in my 20s.
That is a really good picture of you.
When I was in my 20s, I don't know, I just felt invincible. I saw so much potential in myself. I don't know where it came from, but that was just a lot of things that have happened in my life. I think 30s, I was just reckless. 40s, which is where I am now, I consider this my decade of preparation. This is when, you know, dialysis, the breakup, all that kind of stuff. I think all this stuff is preparing me, and I'm prepared for my 50s to be just when I'm at 120% of myself. So I'm actually excited to enter into my 50s because I think that's going to be my my best time yet in my 50s. So I agree with Michelle.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that every 20-year-old is invincible. Every 20-year-old is like, you know, that was the times of, you know, you could work 2 jobs. You could work
3, 4 jobs. Yeah.
You know, work all day, party all night, and be up at 7 o'clock ready to do it all over again, making plans and be like, okay, so as soon as I get off,
yeah,
you up, we're going to the house, we getting dressed, and we're doing this all over again.
Exactly.
You know? Like, you know, you just and you getting like 10 minutes of sleep in the car on the way to where you're going, and then it's like it's on and pot. And I think from those earlier years on why I power nap. Like I could take a 15-minute nap and be like ready, like let's get it, you know. But but that was like my, you know, in my earlier years.
A 15-minute nap, I will wake up the next day, definitely. So yeah,
like that was my life.
I can't do that one. Yeah. So did you have another topic before?
No, we're right at our time.
Yeah, we're a little over, but it's been good. It's been good. Thank you guys for the interaction too.
It has been. But I guess we'll talk about. So y'all need to go ahead and look up these topics so we can really talk about it. Cam Newton and his.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, yes, Dr. Dre and his wife and the money that she's asking for spousal support, and then she did an itemized list on what it is she would be spending $2 million on a month, I think. And then even with Cam, and I don't think that what Cam Newton's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend is asking for is a lot, but you know, we'll talk about it.
As Dr. Dre, you think that's too much? $2 million. Now keep in mind he's worth $860 million.
Right. So we were talking about that.
We got to save it to next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all, thank you all so much. We really love y'all. We really enjoy you all coming. Thanks for all of our guests who chimed in. We really, really love when you all chime in.
Yeah.
It makes it for a better dialogue and for us to keep it going. Continue to share, continue to like. Exactly. And course, we will see you all back here again next Monday, same time with different topics. So please make sure you all tune in, and we may have a special video for y'all to go into, and Will and I want to discuss some things with him. So we may have some special things coming up for y'all. So until next Monday, my love, have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, enjoy
and
the
we'll see you all.
same place, same time.
Yes.
Pay her, Dr. Dre. What did he say? What did she say? Pay her, Dr. Dre was no. Yeah, I heard he was no picnic in the park.
Right.
So,
right. And that's what. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, we gotta. I'm right on.
Yeah. See
All
y'all.
right, have a good week. All right.
All right. Love y'all.
Bye.